So I'm going to show you guys something that's very interesting. In order to walk up to the conversation here, we're going to go back and look. We're going to go back and watch 3.6, Pay Your Creditors First, when I decided what the auto pay into the credit card was going to be. And the reason that we're going to watch that is because in this video, we're going to be talking about self-fulfilling prophecies. When it comes to finance, sure, but also in life. There's a thing called the Law of Attration, which I'm sure that you have heard of or read about. The most popular thing that people talk about, or the piece of content that people talk about, is the movie or the book. I'm not sure whether it's a movie. I know it's a movie, but it's also probably a book called The Secret. And the whole premise behind it is that if you say something, repeat it over and over again, or write it down or something, you can consciously bring that thing into your life and make it a reality. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of that happening to me. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Law of Attraction. I'm not going to go into why in this video, but I just want to show you how it works. Because it is real, it works, and you can use it if you want to. I'm not going to suggest using it, but if you do want to use it for some reason, you can research it, look it up, and figure out how to use it. So let's just watch this video real quick, and then I'm going to show you two other things from earlier years. So let's have a watch. $400 is kind of low, right? From January, March, and February, or the 3 months when I did my financial mirror, right? This is what I calculated income minus expenses to be $600. So, I'm going to say fuck it. I'm going to do $550. No, I'm going to do $555 because that's a nice number. All right. And we should push it. We should push it even more. We should do 600. We should do 600. Yeah, why not? Okay, so you saw what happened there. It's the equivalent of like writing something down, is stating it out loud, right? Declaring it into the world. I said that I was going to have $600 to spare that I would be able to put towards one of the credit cards that I was paying off at that time. So the important thing to take away here, to just keep in mind, hold in your head, is that my total income, I estimated it to be $3,000 a month. And then my expenses were going to be on average $2,400 per month. Let's take a quick look at the actual data. This was back in July 13th. And let's take a look at what the actual data is for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Okay. The average of what I've spent is $2,483. It is trending in that direction to being $2,400 per month. It's exactly what is happening here. Now, this is just one example, right? And you might say, well, that's just good planning or something, but it's not good planning. This is the Law of Attraction at work. If I, in this video, had said 400 like I originally had planned out, then I can guarantee you that this number would have been closer to 2,600. If I had said 800, if I had said 800 in this video and said my total expenses were 2,200, then what we would have seen here is 2,200 per month. That's how it works. And the reason why it works is because when you make a decision for something to happen, like back in that when I was making the 3.6 video, what I was telling myself is that I was going to make this video basically, or have this spreadsheet that says that this number is going to be as close to 2,400 as possible. That's going to be 2,400. So now that is forming into a reality here. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. And as I'm going about my day-to-day, I'm unconsciously, thinking of ways or coming up with ways, my mind's grabbing at things or letting go of things to make sure that this happens. That's what's going on. I want to show you two other things, and they're my budgets for 2016 and 2017. Now, 2016 was the year that I started budgeting seriously. I started tracking every dollar, every cent, really. Started tracking every cent in and out, and every day or every other day, come on, let's be honest, I would log into my YNAB account and check to see if anything had come in. Now, I want to show you this because in 2016, I did a similar exercise, and I set my spending forecast to be $750 or $1,750 a month. And that would mean that my yearly expenses were $21,000. So my spending forecast for 2016 was $21,000. I think that's what the math I did was. Yeah, $1,750 a month. So I would spend $21,000 that year. All right. So we're gonna go just right here. Okay. So I want to show you what the actual number was for 2016 for total expenses for 2016. Let's scroll all the way down. This is when I had a really detailed long budget. Total spend $21,101.44. It's exactly what I said it was going to be. Exactly. Plus $100. Minus $100. Okay, whatever. This is law of attraction, guys. If I had said 23,000, it would have been closer to 23,000. If I had said 14,000, it would have been closer to 14,000. Now in you could say, oh, that's just really good planning. It's really good planning. I don't know. It's up to you to believe what you want to believe here. For 2017, I did the same thing. I set a spending forecast for 14,000. I was going to beat my last year's score by 7,000, in part because I sold my car. I got rid of the car, and and let's see, the sum of this, you can't see it in the video here, but the sum of this is 4,600. So I said, okay, I'm going to do that, get rid of that, and better. I'm going to do better than last year. So I put my spending forecast for 14,000, and you already know what I'm going to show you here. We're going to scroll down and look at the total expenses for 2017, $14,060.59. And it's just because I said that's what I'm going to spend. And that's it. That's it. So this is the law of attraction at work, and you can use this as well. I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. I wouldn't, because I won't go into it, but basically it makes you into something that you're not. Like the law of attraction for me in these 2 years, it made me somebody who spent. In 2016, I was somebody who spent $21,000 per year. In 2017, I was somebody who spent $14,000 a year. And that was my identity. When you use the law of attraction, your identity becomes whatever it is that you want to attract. Right now, I'm somebody who spends $24,000 or $2,400 a month. And that's my identity. Now, if you want to take this super seriously, you're going to say that you want to do, this is a very minor thing too for using it for finances, but there are other things that you can use it for. right? You can say whatever you want. I don't know, whatever you want. You could be somebody who owns a mansion and you can start telling yourself that. You can use the law of attraction to bring a big mansion into your life, and your identity from that point forward is going to be somebody who owns a mansion. And your mind is going to do whatever it takes. It's going to find the path to you becoming somebody who owns a mansion. And the thing that you're going to realize is that once you get the thing that you think that you want, once you get that mansion, you're going to realize that you don't want it. You didn't want it. You thought you wanted it, and you thought you wanted it so bad that you were willing to trade your life for that mansion. That's pretty much what you're doing. You're trading a part of your identity to have that mansion. And that's the trade-off. You're making kind of like an exchange with the devil there, saying, hey, I'm willing to give up this part of myself in order to get this thing that I want. That's what happens. So, yeah, the reason I make this video is to bring that to your attention, because a lot of people will talk about, write things down, write down what your goals are, write down how you want your life to look like. And I did that. Other people have done that I know. And a few years later, what they wrote down ends up becoming what their day-to-day reality is. And for me, and for the people that I know, they didn't want those things. They got it. They achieved it. What they wrote down, what they said that they wanted, they got it. They made it happen, and their life looked exactly like that. And they're still depressed. They still don't know what to do with their life. They are now scared to make new goals or live the way that way, because they know. And like, this happens to me too. It's like, I don't want to make big goals anymore, because I know that the thing that I think that I really, really want, I'm going to get it, and I'm not going to want it. So this took a time to do. This whole thing of spending $21,000, that took a year to do. Reaching financial independence for me was going to be a long process. It was going to be 5 to 10 years, or maybe 4 to 10 years, depending on how the market did and other things that happened. But I would have accomplished it at some point. Totally financial independent for the rest of my life. It would have been a reality. But I didn't want that. I thought I did, but that's not what I wanted. So you got to be careful with this stuff, guys. The other thing that happens is that people get what they want, and then they'll pretend like, yeah, that's what I wanted, and I'm really happy, and everything is great. So they put on a costume, a mask, a facade, and they say, yeah, everything's great, loving life, and things are amazing. Hey, look at me. I'm somebody who spends $2,400 a month, and this is the best life that I can possibly live. Or look at me. I have a mansion, and it's amazing, and everybody loves me because I have a mansion, and I love myself because I have a mansion, and I accomplished this thing. But other people might fall for it, but deep down, you know that that's not true. And if you were to somehow lose your mansion, which you probably will at some point, your house of cards is going to come falling down, then your life is over. Well, your life's not over, but your life as somebody who owns a mansion is over, and that part of you has died. If you look up what happened to IBM after a lot of people got laid off, you'll see that that's kind of what happened. People had so much sense of identity wrapped up inside of their job as IBMers. They had a chorus. There's a catchy tune, actually. You should look it up. It's called IBM's Ever Onward. And I go around whistling, and man, I would have worked at IBM to be able to sing that tune with a bunch of people. It was fun. But then they got fired, and a lot of people's lives just kind of, not everybody's, but a lot of people's lives just kind of fell apart because they put so much of their self into being an IBMer, and that became their identity. So it's the same thing with this. It's the same thing exactly of what's going on here. The law of attraction works. You can use it. I've shown you a little bit of proof on my own. I mean, of course, it's anecdotal. You don't have to believe me, but you can find other examples. Like, I can share other examples with you of the law of attraction working. But every time that I've used it to my advantage, so to speak, to get something that I want, it's not made my life any better. It hasn't enhanced my joy, peace, happiness, or anything like that. So, yeah, it's a good exercise, I guess. Use it if you want. Try it. Experiment with it. It works. If you want to see that it works, cool. But I am trying now not to use it, or I'm not using it. But unconsciously, I guess I may still be using it sometimes. But I know that that's not the way to moving forward in my life, if that makes any sense. It's like, that something's bad, but you just like can't really stop doing it because you can't help yourself, so you do it anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what the deal is here. So anyway, that's it for this one. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna make another one. I'm not gonna add it to this one because it's a different topic, I guess. All right, bye-bye.